Thank you. Thank you for that introduction. Good morning, everyone. I can see my fellow millennials are also present here. Good morning. Good morning. Ayan, sige. So, I'm here to discuss about the millennials in disaster preparedness and climate action. So, let's first define millennials. Ayan, sige. Ayan, sige. Millennials, who are they? According to demographers and researchers, these are the people who were born between early 1980s and 2000. So, sino dito yung mga millennials pa? Taas ng kamay. Ayan. So, medyo madami-dami pa. Ayan, yung iba nagtaas, pero hindi naman millennial talaga, no? Millennial at heart, siguro. Ayan, sige. But much has been said about this group of people. They have been accused of being narcissistic, entitled, lazy, and even disrespectful. Tama ba yun? Siyempre, hindi tayo papayag doon. But do any of these claims against our generation have any basis at all? The millennials we know do not settle for mediocre roles. The millennials we know see things differently. The millennials we know are proactive. In fact, according to the National Youth Assessment Study of the National Youth Commission in 2015, 7 out of 10 millennials actively participate in environment-related activities. So one good example is, ayan, according to the National Youth Assessment Study, 7 out of 10 daw ang actively participate in environmental-related activities. So one good example is one of our 10 Accomplished Youth Organizations awardee, or our Tayo awardee in 2016. This is the Hyg Energy's Hyacinth for Green Energy. It is a project that aims to resolve flooding issues due to the invasive presence of water hyacinth pest plants, clogging drainage systems. The organization innovated a project that maximized the teeming supply of plants into something useful and sustainable, turning plants into uling lili. The group is now operating in Victoria, Tarlac, where they are closely coordinating with the local government unit. The project's direct target market is approximately 300 families in the area. So nakakatawang isipin na may mga organizations pala tayo na ganito. So let's watch their video.
Okay, our focus and mission is to provide clean energy for everyone. Clean energy, which means renewable energy, which is more accessible, adaptable, and affordable for everyone. Water hyacinth is actually a pest plant. It plugs the rivers, causes the water to rise up, and thus it causes flooding. So our focus is to actually lessen the number of water hyacinth and make use of it to make it a renewable cooking energy. We also witness more than 100 families are actually living with water up to knee level. You can also see that people who are using firewood and charcoal also has problems with respiratory health. Basically, 4 million people die every year because of in-house air pollution. This is a major problem, and so we decided to actually provide just a simple technology and make renewable energy accessible for everyone.
If you're talking about conventional charcoal, like they make it from firewood. So where do we get the material from? It's from chopping down the trees and so on. So that will contribute to cutting down trees and contribute to climate change, right? Taking the raw material instead of wood, we're taking from water hyacinth. So we actually use it as a raw material and make it into something that people, at least in Filipino, people use it in their daily lives, which is a cleaner substitute for conventional charcoal. So the uling lili actually has a lower ash content. So when we burn it, it has less smoke particles. You can chop it or we put it into a grinder to make the size smaller. It grows on aquatic environment, meaning there's a lot of moisture in it. So we dried it under the sun. And then after that, we will carbonize it.
Mas matipid po siya gamitin. Tsaka matagal po kasi yung baga niya, doon po talaga makukuha yung tipid. 6 pesos po kasi bawat isang supot ng dating uli, 8 pesos, 2 pesos lang po ang maidadagdag mo. Mas matagal po ang baga ng uling lili.
Because the thing is, as of this moment, that our contribution to the community extends to employment, environment, and health. we have this feeling that we want to solve a problem. So that is why we are all here. You know, along the way, you can face struggles to really fulfill those, to really solve the problem. But at the end of the day, you will know that you will help those in the future generation. So start now and make a better future.
Ayan, thank you to Hygie Energies Organization for that initiative. No? Napakaganda talaga ng project nila na pinakita. So also, according to the National Youth Commission National Youth Assessment Study, 7 out of 10 millennials also stated that they personally help in environmental conservation. One example of this is our Tayo awardee, the Teatro de Santa Luisa. Teatro de Santa Luisa is one of the finalists of the 14th Tayo Awards under the Environment Disaster Risk Reduction and Climate Change Adaptation category. Their project, Acting Responsibly for Environment, or ARTE, Teatro sa Barangay, Theater for a Cause, is a theater training workshop interspersed with environmental causes to aid participants not just on theater skills and talents, but also on environmental advocacies aimed towards restoring the Naga River. The organization conducted 11 barangays in Naga City. So this Arte Teatro for a Cause, ginawa nila sa mga 11 barangays sa Naga City. So ito ang nagpapatunay that millennials are really active in environmental conservation. Another is, according to our study, 8 out of 10 of millennials agreed that participation from the youth is important. To prove this, another organization, which is the Red Cross Youth Ligaw Community College, Council's Disaster Preparedness, Readiness and Climate Change Awareness for Intermediate and Pupils Move Philippines, is a disaster participatory approach that combines theory through lecture trainings and application using games designed for elementary pupils to strengthen the awareness of children on climate change and disaster preparedness, on what to do before, during, and after a disaster. The group conducted trainings in 3 schools in the area, with an average of 50 kids per training. So let's watch their video.
Kami po ang Red Cross Youth Ligaw Community College Council. Isa po kaming non-funded college-based organization na naglalayong matulungan ng sangkatauhan. Nagtuturo po kami tungkol sa disaster preparedness, nagkakaroon po kami ng bloodletting drives, mga clean-up drives, mga coastal clean-ups at tree planting drives at iba't iba pang mga humanitarian services na pwede naming may offer.
Ang mga problema, issue na gusto naming mabigyang solusyon dito sa aming komunidad ay unang-una ang kaligtasan ng aming mga mag-aaral, lalo na kapag nagkakaroon ng malakas na pag-ulan, mayroon po kami mga mag-aaral dito na kung saan hindi lamang 1 or 2 ilog ang kanilang tinatawid. Okay. So, kapag nagkakaroon po ng malakas na pag-ulan, hindi po maiwasan ang pagkakaroon ng landslide. So, pangalawa po, pag nagkakaroon ng lindol at kapag umaalboroto po ang Bulkang Mayon.
Ang proyektong ito ay tungkol sa mga bata na hindi pa masyado or wala pa masyadong ideya patungkol kung ano ang dapat nilang gawin kapag may calamity. Tinuturoan namin sila kung ano ang dapat gawin bago, habang at pagkatapos ng isang sakuna. Pinapaliwanag rin namin sa kanila ang kahalagahan ng evacuation map, evacuation center at authority na makikita sa kanilang community. Binibigyan din namin sila ng kaalaman tungkol sa climate change and proper ways of disposal at improvisation ng mga bagay na makikita sa surroundings na makakatulong sa kanila sa kung paano mag-survive sa isang calamity.
Isa sa mga pagbabago sa komunidad ay kapag may parating na sakuna, hindi na ganun kahirap papuntahin sa mga evacuation centers sila bago mangyari yon. At alam na rin nila yung mga kailangan nilang gawin at dalhin ng mga gamit upang makasurvive. Lalo na kapag medyo malayo yung lugar nila para abutin agad ng asistensya galing sa pamahalaan. Kung dati kasi yung mga bata, kapag may parating na sakuna, naglalaro lang sila, wala silang pakialam. Ngayon, behave na sila. Kaya hindi na ganun kahirap sa parte ng mga magulang upang sawayin sila. Sa pamagitan nun, maiiwasan na ma-aksidente sila o kung ano man yung mangyaring masama sa kanila habang may sakuna.
Ngayon, depende na kung anong gagawin para maligtas ang sarili.
Sana po maturuan din sila ng Red Cross at ang mga kaalaman ay dapat nilang isaulo para sila ay maging ligtas sa darating na mga sakuna.
Kami ang Red Cross Youth Liga Community College Council. Naniniwala sa kasabihang, ligtas ang batang may alam.
Thank you, Red Cross Youth Council organization. No? So, there's no greater proof against the claim that millennials are entitled bunch than these inspiring stories in disaster, preparedness, and climate action. It truly shows that millennials are #1 eco warriors in our country. With that, their dedication to uplifting the welfare of their communities serves as the inspiration of the #NowPH campaign. The #NowPH brought together 3.6 million Filipino pledges to call for adoption of the Paris Agreement during the 21st Conference Parties, or COP21, of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change held in Paris, France. The campaign generated 221 million social media interactions and raised public consciousness on the science of climate change and on ways to lead a climate-resilient and climate-smart lifestyle. The campaign was primarily powered by tech-savvy millennials. Also, the selfless and active participation by millennials did not go unnoticed because in November 25, 2015, Presidential Proclamation number 1160 was issued declaring November 25 of each year as a National Day for Youth in Climate Action. So dito sa bansa natin, we celebrate National Day for Youth in Climate Action every November 25. The tradition of celebrating young people's contribution to disaster preparedness and climate action lives on and continue. This year, we plan to give millennials an even greater or bigger state to the #NowASEAN, the Youth in Action Day 2017. Since we are the chairman of the ASEAN this year, this is also one initiative of the National Youth Commission in partnership with Climate Change Commission and the Yes Pinoy Foundation. So this year, we will be conducting the #NowASEAN Conference. The #NowASEAN Conference, which will happen on November 23 to 26, 2017, shall emphasize the importance of the youth's meaningful involvement in addressing climate change and disaster preparedness concerns. The #NowASEAN Conference also seeks to establish the Southeast Asian Youth in Climate Action Network, a network of ASEAN youth organizations that will push platforms for climate change adaptation and mitigation and disaster preparedness. Also, the #NowASEAN aims to develop the ASEAN Youth in Climate Action Day proclamation, coinciding the Philippines National Day for Youth in Climate Action held every November 25. So we would want to encourage our ASEAN neighboring countries to adopt the November 25 and celebrate November 25 as a Youth in Climate Action Day, and let them also initiate programs and projects that how the youth can involve into climate change adaptation, mitigation, and disaster preparedness. So, ilang minutes na lang ako? 5 minutes, okay. So siguro, i-wrap up na natin, no? The Pinoy millennials are changing our country's endless narrative in helplessness amid our numerous vulnerabilities. The role of young people is clear. Millennials are here to break the status quo. Now more than ever, our young Pinoys or our young millennials, the millennials are here to show the world that we can be partners for change. As the millennial saying goes, you only live once, and you are here to make a mark. So to my fellow young people here, to my fellow millennials, let us continue to keep our dreams alive. Let us continue to get inspired. let us continue to be dedicated and passionate. As your Commissioner at Large of the National Youth Commission, I am with you in making larger dreams and larger change in our country. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay ang kabataang Pilipino.